back-to-back shutouts for you guys. How's this tandem working out so far?
I mean, I think the team has given us a lot of chances to be successful, and that's what it's all about. The team's doing a great job, playing great defensively. Our last game I thought was a bit of a clinic. We played extremely well. So when you do that, you set yourself up for success.
Anytime you have a shutout, you would normally expect to get the net again the next day. Samsonov played yesterday, and now it looks like he'll be back in tomorrow. Does it matter if you guys are sort of alternating, or 2 out of 3?
My job is just to be prepared when my name is called and to prepare every day. When I'm not in, get a little bit of extra practice time and get ready for the next one when my name eventually does get called.
You were watching the soccer, obviously. You put yourself in the place of a soccer goalie in that situation. The whole world watching. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like fun. Those penalty kicks, when it comes down to that, I think it's pretty exciting. So that Croatian goalie, I think, will be enjoying himself for the rest of the day for sure.
Does it make you miss a chance to play best on best?
Sorry?
Does it make you miss the chance to play best on best in a World Cup?
I don't know. I didn't really think about that, to be honest. My mind's busy on the day-to-day right now.
Just ask about the changing defense in front of you. No matter who they've kind of put in, especially new guys, all seem to have adapted well, and you guys are all communicating well.
I think everyone that's stepped in has done an amazing job. Shows our depth that we have here, and the maturity of some of these younger guys to step up and play big minutes. And obviously, all the way through the lineup, everybody gets bumped up and everybody takes on a bigger role. And everybody's been doing a heck of a job. So can't say enough about our back end.
Has there been, maybe an emphasis, or have you noticed, guys in the forward here dropping back more to support with some of the absences on the line?
I just think we're playing the right way. We're above pucks. We're in the right positions. That's all the way through the lineup, including the forwards. The forwards are doing a heck of a job for us. When they can get back and help out, that's obviously, again, that sets yourself up for success. It sets the team up for success. So we're doing a heck of a job.
Is that something that's changed since guys have started to get injured, from the coaching staff systematically, or is that something that's just been here from day
Well, like
one?
I said, that's just playing the right way, and I think that's something we've been doing for quite some time now.
Michael, what did you make of yesterday's game overall, and some of the antics that kind of followed toward the second period there?
Yeah, I thought we had a pretty complete game there. I thought we played pretty well defensively, and obviously offensively. We had those 3 goals in a minute, so that was pretty fun to be a part of. And I think we're just playing a good game right now, and we're sticking to the D zone side of it, and then we're getting rewarded offensively.
Pretty funny moment with you and Sean there. What was he chirping at the bench that got you kind of excited there?
I don't know. I'll just leave that out. That's just part of hockey, and that's obviously part of my game. And I'll just not really comment on that. We'll leave it there on the ice.
What's gotten your game to a good place here? Obviously producing offensively, you seem involved in the game every night. Better place than maybe a month or so ago?
Yeah, I think just kind of getting into the rhythm of things, and gaining my confidence back of how I ended off last year, and just bringing that back. And I think I try to focus more on the D side of the puck, and when that kind of happens, you get rewarded offensively. So hopefully I can just kind of keep it rolling here.
There's a lot of road games sprinkled with one-off home games in here, lighter practice. How much does the lighter practice kind of help you guys just kind of get reacclimated for being home for
Yeah, we've been on the road, it feels like, for a while here, so it's nice to be home. It's nice to just to be home and have a home-cooked meal, but have a quick practice day, get the legs kind of going, and then look forward to a big match tomorrow night.
With the style you play, how much do you admire Nazem Kadri?
Yeah, obviously Kadri has been in this league for a long time, and he's won a Stanley Cup, and he kind of plays on that edge as well. So he's a really skilled player, and he brings a lot to the table every single night. So he's coming back to Toronto, a team that he used to play for. So I'm sure he's gonna bring his A game tomorrow.
What kind of reaction do you expect from the crowd?
Probably a great reaction. It sounds like he was really loved here by his team and also the fan base. So I would imagine it's all positive.
Sheldon has promised a lighter practice. How important was that for the guys to just kind of help in terms of the recovery, the road trip with the home games that you guys had sprinkled in?
Yeah, I think it's important. I mean, anytime you're practicing on a day that's sandwiched between 2 games, it's it's important to get some work in, but keep the guys fresh. But we still got pretty good work today. Guys, it ended up being about 40 minutes there for the guys, who include the skill development stuff at the beginning of practice. So those touches are important for us. But more importantly, just stay sharp mentally and physically, and keep execution high. Be able to touch on a couple things and get out of here and be ready for Calgary tomorrow.
Any more information you can share on Robertson?
He's going to have an MRI this afternoon, which will give us a better idea exactly of where that's at. So no real update today.
And up here, Engvall's got a hearing. How does that change your preparation in terms of awaiting that outcome going into the game against the Flames tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't change much other than obviously, if he's available, he's available. If he's not, then we'll adjust from there. So that really is it. We'll just let that process play out.
What stands out about Joey Anderson's game that earned him the call up?
Well, he's a guy that he's come up here, a couple of times, over my time here, and I think has done well in a very short window of time. And then each time he goes down to the Marlies, he really is a true leader for them down there, and in all facets. And coaching staff really likes and appreciates his game, and he's been productive offensively. Hard-working guy. So I think it's just the timing was right, but the reality is we've kind of sped things up a little bit here, given the injury situation. But he's a guy we were looking at calling up here quite soon anyhow, regardless of injuries, because we feel like with Yarncrocs injury that there was an opportunity to get him a little more involved. So things move up a little bit there, but it's not necessarily just because of anything that happened last night. He's a guy that we've been wanting to get involved here for a while now.
Is it just a matter of him being in transit where the Marlies were, why he couldn't attend practice today?
Yeah, exactly. They were in Syracuse last night, so he's on his way back here today.
When you made the switch of Mitch and Willie to the different lines, there was 13 games ago, and you guys haven't lost in regulation since, and obviously both of those lines have really picked up some steam. Do you legitimately feel like you've got two number one lines now, and it really poses an issue for the other team's coach?
I mean, I feel that way even when the lines are the other way, right? I don't think that's different. When I'm coaching our team or you're coaching against us, I think that's just how you have to look at it. I think that the individual players have really found their game, and I think that really started to come around even before we made the switch to lines. But I just feel that way. That's really how our team is built, and right now it's working for us on those lines. You obviously, when you look at last night's game, you can't discount the effort that was put forth by guys in our third and fourth lines as well. So I think that's what's been really nice through this run here is we're getting production from different people at different times. Our top guys are driving us for sure, but there's a lot of good things happening, whether it's on the score sheet or not, all the way through our lineup.
Michael Bunting is on a pretty good run right now. Do you see anything different from the beginning of the season? You seem to have a little bit of a slow start.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of our guys had slow starts. Obviously, we've talked enough about that, but I think it's a long season. Sometimes it just takes time to find your rhythm, find your game. Especially for Bunts, he's a guy that hasn't been in the league a long time. He's had to go through some things mentally where it's a bit of a shift, right? Last season, you're kind of you're new to the league and no one really knows who you are, and you're having all sorts of success, and all of a sudden you come back and you're playing alongside the Hart Trophy winner, and that line's getting a ton of attention. You're getting a ton of attention. The officials know exactly who you are. Like, there's all sorts of stuff happening there that takes time to adjust to. But I think especially offensively, a lot of good things have been happening for his game. It really starts with him being really competitive and executing when the puck is on his stick.
Much like it was for Robertson for that opportunity on the second line, it looks like it could be the same for Dennis Malgin in that situation. What are you hoping to see from him in terms of that, and maybe even a different look with someone like Mitch on the wing there too?
Yeah, when the puck comes to you, you got to make a play with it, whether that's finishing a chance and scoring a goal or advancing the play and keeping things moving for the line. And at the same time, bring some defensive utility. You got to be able to win pucks back. You got to be working back on defense. When you're playing up there and Robertson himself, had some struggles with this. When you're playing up there, the matchups are entirely different, and you have to be able to work without the puck to earn it back, so you can have a chance at some offense yourself, but just make sure that the line, isn't spending too much time in its own end and isn't getting scored on, all those kind of things. So for any player kind of trying to find their way in the top 6, that's one thing that doesn't get looked at nearly enough. Now, Nagy's played a lot of time with Kampf and Aston Reese and has played against some tough matchups, and I think has done a good job there. It's a little bit different on the off wing, a little bit different playing with those players, but he's done it at different times, and he's done a good job of it, and there's an opportunity there now. He's a guy that has been trying to really solidify himself. It has gone well at times, but the consistency is going to make the difference of whether he can sort of get to the other side of this in terms of being an everyday player.
Two-part question, if you don't mind. I don't know if you know you're tied now with Pat Burns and Red Kelly, 5th for wins by a Leaf coach. Your reaction to that, and everybody ahead of you on the list has won a playoff series. How much do you really look forward to the next chance when it comes to addressing that?
Well, the names you mentioned certainly are good company, and people I have a tremendous amount of respect for, but it's not anything that I pay any sort of attention to, so it's not really of concern to me, other than to say I'm fortunate to coach a really good team here and a good organization that's put me in positions to succeed, and happy that I've been able to help facilitate that in the regular season, as you say. But obviously we're building towards being a team that can advance in the playoffs, but we can't play the playoffs today or tomorrow. We just got to continue to work our way there and put ourselves in the best position possible to get over that hump.
Zach Asterice was saying yesterday that after the Minnesota game, he was kind of getting away from the hitting element of his game and was trying to get that back. Before that hit on Kaliev, he sets the tone with the hit on Edler early in the game. Is that part of the identity that you're seeking from that line now, in terms of not just the defensive stuff, but just kind of more hitting and tone setting in that regard?
Well, I think each player, to me, you don't look for line identities. You look at the players you have, and then you want those players to play to their identity. Zach Aston Reese is a guy that has been very physical in his time in the league, and we thought that had slipped a little bit for him, so wanted to draw his attention back toward it. But he's done a good job for us defensively, for sure, and that's part of it, because sometimes when you want to be real physical, you're actually taking yourself out of the play and you're not in the spots. And we've been prioritizing having numbers coming back to the middle of the ice and outnumbering the opposition. Well, sometimes that's a lot more difficult to do if you're working at a position to finish a check. So I can understand a player's position on that, but for him, I think that is part of what we need from him, and there's some anticipation there that if you can anticipate where a play will be and you move your feet and you close space quickly, you want to get on top of it and make a play on it while the puck is still there. That's the biggest thing for us, and I think that's a big part of it. But then also recognizing what's happening in the game, and as it turned out yesterday, it really changed the momentum and the life and the energy of the game. With not just the physicality, but then it kind of changed the emotion of the game a little bit. LA got a little upset, and we earned a power play out of it. Like all sort of stuff coming out of it. The crowd comes alive, and then all of a sudden you score 3 in a hurry. So it just goes to show the type of impact that a player like him can make by playing that way.